Hi LFBI, this is Jerry Vance. I'm doing my oral presentation on The Consequences of Ideas by R.C. Sproul, for worldview and biblical reasoning. To be completely honest with you, this was a very tough class for me, a very rough read for this book, along with just some spiritual warfare that I was enduring at the time. But this class has definitely opened my eyes to, mindsets that I never really thought about. I've never studied philosophy in my studies before, so this was definitely outside of my comfort zone, but very much eye-opening. Just through going through the book and seeing how these philosophers, from Socrates and Plato, all the way down to Karl Marx and Friedrich Nietzsche, some of these other guys, and how their mindset, so influenced by the world, and how it is still influencing the world even today, in this day and age, is just absolutely mind-blowing to me. I've heard of some of these philosophers before, but I've never studied any of them at length. And so just being able to delve into their psyche and seeing their personal struggles, their personal life, things they dealt with, what influenced their way of thinking, definitely shed a new light for me on how the world thinks. People that aren't Christian, how their mindsets are influenced by their surroundings, by their peers, by circumstances that happen in their lives. My essay was done on free will and focused on Sam Harris, and through that, he believes that that free will is an illusion, that we're not actually free to do anything at all, but it's completely bound by our previous life experiences, things that have happened, people that have wronged us, bad genes, for instance, and just seeing how several of these other philosophers share some of the very similar thinking and mindset of that, because of experiences that happened in their life, in their childhood, molded the way that they think of God, that he doesn't exist, that he couldn't love them, that he doesn't care. And obviously, if we're Christians, we know that's the farthest thing from the truth, that God does love us. And, one of the things that I had read previously was that of freedom, and that there's no such thing as freedom. But the Bible clearly tells us that, we have liberty when we are in Christ. And that's where we find our freedom, because we're not bound by things of the world. We're not bound by the sin. We have freedom and we have liberty in Christ, but that's so not the worldview. And one paragraph that I read from the book was on John Paul Sartre, and it talks about his play, and it's the final stage direction in the play reads, "They slump into their respective sofas, a long silence. Their laughter dies away, and they gaze at each other. If the gaze of other people destroys our subjectivity, Sartre wonders, how much worse would it be to constantly be in the gaze of God? Sartre sees omniscience turning God into a cosmic voyeur whose gaze reduces all men to objects." And he sees God as someone who desires to have no relationship with his creation. And that's how so many of these philosophers see God, and how so many people these days in this world see God as well. So I'm thankful just for the eye-opening experience of this class and this book. And just thank you for the opportunity to be able to take it. Thank you.